Hello and welcome to Learn with Hema's class. My dear students, in this video I shall be providing you the answers, that is the solutions of Julius Caesar Act 4 Scene 1, and the solutions are based on the Evergreen Workbook. This video is completely for class 10 ICSE board. Before going ahead, one small request my dear students, that if you are not a subscriber to my channel, please do subscribe to my channel, that is Learn with Hema, and do share my videos with your friends. And if you think that these videos are useful to you, please do not forget to hit the like button. Let's move quickly with our passages and question and answers. So this is the first passage. Antony, these many then shall die, their names are pricked. Octavius, your brother too must die, consent you. Lepidus, Lepidus, I do consent. Octavius, prick him down, Antony. So this was the passage. Let's go with the first question. Where does this scene takes place? Name the two new characters introduced in this scene. How does this short and rather unpleasant scene contrast with the earlier scene of mob fury? So answer. The scene takes place in a house in Rome. So it answers the first question. Where does this scene take place? So you can underline in a house in Rome. This part you can underline. Keyword. Okay. Next. Name the two new characters introduced in this scene. The two new characters introduced are Octavius and Lepidus. So what you are going to underline? Octavius and Lepidus. Third one. How does this short and rather unpleasant scene contrast with the earlier scene of mob fury? So this scene is different from the earlier scene contrasted with the earlier scene. This scene shows clever manipulation of the situation and future plans of Antony and his companions. So you can underline from here clever manipulation of the situation and future plans of Antony and his companions. So these are the key words which I had asked you to underline. What does Antony mean by saying their names are pricked? Why is this being done? Answer. He means that the names of those who are to be put to death have been marked out. This is being done to get rid of the supporters of the conspirators. So here, who are to be put to death, this can be underlined. And here to get rid of the supporters of the conspirators. So these two parts you can underline, so that these are the keywords. So whenever the examiners check your answers, they basically check your keywords, so that if your keywords are correct, you get complete marks on it. Next, what condition does Lepidus lay down after this extract? Does Antony agree to this condition? How does he show his consent? Now there are three questions. If I see over here, there are three questions. So each question you write in paragraph. Okay. Now what is this? What condition does Lepidus lay down after this extract? It is decided that Lepidus' brother will die. Okay. Upon this, he lays down the condition that Antony's nephew should also die. So this answers the first question. Now second, does Antony agree to this condition? So answer is yes, Antony agrees to this. तो ये हमारा सेकेंड लाइन में आ गया. थर्ड क्वेश्चन इज हाउ डज ही शो हिज कंसेंट? सो इट आंसर्स ही कंडेम्स हिम विद द स्ट्रोक ऑफ हिज पेन, thereby showing his consent to Lepidus' condition. Why I am saying you like this? Because this is the proper way of writing your answers in your board examination, so that you you do not lose your marks anywhere. Even if you write the correct answer, and if you do not put it properly, you might lose your marks. But this way, if you write each question starting with a new line, so you will definitely get out of marks. What instructions does Antony give to Lepidus? What does Antony intend to do? Antony instructs Lepidus to go to Caesar's house and bring his will. Second part, he intends to settle down how they can reduce some of the expenditures and legacies. So here the first answer, to go to Caesar's house and bring his will, this is the key word you can underline. Intend to do, so they can reduce some of the expenditures in legacies. To settle how they can reduce, so this part you can underline. What does this reveal about Antony's character? It reveals that Antony is a very clever manipulator. You can underline this part, clever manipulator, and he will control the situation very well. This also you can underline. This is passage 2. Antony, this is a slight unmeritable man, meet to be sent on errands. Is it fit, the threefold world divided, he should stand, one of the three to share it? Octavius, so you thought him, and took his voice who should be pricked to die, in our black sentence and proscription. So this is the passage. Now question, who is Antony referring to? Who is he speaking with? Antony is referring to Lepidus, so you can underline Lepidus. he is speaking with Octavius. So you can underline Octavius. So these are the keywords in this question. Why does he call the man slight unmeritable? What is he only fit for? Antony calls him a feeble man of no merit because he has a very poor opinion of Lepidus. So you can underline he has a very poor opinion of Lepidus. This part. And for the second question, Antony feels that Lepidus, is fit only to be used for errands. So only to be used for errands. You can write that thing. Means you can underline. So they are your basically keywords in the answer. Question 3. Explain threefold world. Threefold world refers to the division of Roman Empire in Europe, Africa and Asia. So you have to underline Europe, Africa and Asia. Division of Roman Empire, that also you can underline. Fourth question. How does Octavius refute when Antony has just told him? Octavius refutes what Antony has said. Tauntingly, he says, if Lepidus is a feeble man of no merit, then his taking Antony's vote as to who should be marked off to die is not justified. So here you can write, then his taking Antony's vote as to who should be marked off to die is not justified. This part you can take as a keywords. Explain black sentence and proscription. This is an important question. This can come. Black sentence means capital punishment and proscription means list of laws for those people who are condemned by the state to die and their properties are to be confiscated by the government. So here you can underline capital punishment. Okay. And here you can write list of laws for those people who are condemned by the state to die. This much you can underline. Or if you want, you can underline till government also. It's up to you. But if you underline list of laws for those people who are condemned, that is also fine. So this is again important. This can be asked as MCQ also. So it can be asked in either way. Now passage 3. Octavius, you may do your will, but he is a tried and valiant soldier. Antony, so is my horse, Octavius, and for that I do appoint him store of provender. So who is the elder of the two speakers over here, Antony or Octavius? And why do you think Octavius tells Antony to do your will? So first question answers, Antony is the elder of the two speakers. So you can underline Antony. Second, who do you think Octavius tells Antony to do your will? Octavius asks Antony to do as his like because he admits Antony's seniority. So you can underline this thing. He admits Antony's seniority though he disagrees with him. So till here you can underline he admits Antony's seniority. That much is the keyword. And then though he disagrees with him, that also you can write as the answer, but no need to underline for it. How does Octavius defend Lepidus? Octavius says that Lepidus is not just a donkey fit to carry loads, but he is a brave soldier. So here, how does Octavius defend Lepidus? So first answer, he is not just a donkey fit to carry loads, but he is also a brave soldier. So this you can underline, also a brave soldier. He adds that Antony must not forget his quality of Lepidus. This quality of Lepidus means he is a brave soldier. This quality of Lepidus should not be forgotten by Antony. Okay. How does Antony look after and control his horse? How does Lepidus behave like his horse? So here answer is, Antony gives his horse a plentiful supply of food. So you can underline a plentiful supply of food. He has trained him to fight. Trained him to fight, you can underline this. To stop and gallop, you can underline this, to stop and gallop. The movement of his horse are controlled by his wishes. So are controlled by his wishes. You can underline by his wishes. Next answer, how does Lepidus behave like his horse? So Antony says that Lepidus is like his horse. He must be guided, trained and instructed. So you can underline, he must be guided, trained and instructed. In short, he has no originality. You can underline this also. What does Antony say about Lepidus last of all before changing the topic? Answer, Antony says that Lepidus blindly imitates the manners of others. So you can underline here, blindly imitates the manners of others. He is very happy to adopt what others have left after much use. You can also underline this thing. He is very happy to adopt what others have left after much use. This also answer can be underlined. What are Brutus and Cassius busy doing? How does Antony plan to deal with the situation? Answer. So Brutus and Cassius are busy raising armies. Antony plans to gather resources and form a firm alliance to unite together and make the best use of their means. This is necessary to fight the enemy. So here you can line what are they busy doing? Busy raising armies. This is the first line to be underlined. And the next, plans to gather resources and form alliance to unite together. and make the best use of their means. So this till here, the second line till here you can underline. Next passage, passage for Antony. And now Octavius, listen, great things. Brutus and Cassius are living powers. We must straight make head. Question. What does Antony mean by great things? Why does he say great things as compared to who? Answer. Great things here means great news, the latest information. So first question is answered. So great news, the latest information can be underlined. He says great things because this news is much important than wasting time in discussing Lepidus. So here, here you can underline this news is much more important than wasting time in discussing Lepidus. So this can be underlined. What does he tell Octavius regarding Brutus and Cassius? He tells Octavius that Brutus and Cassius are raising armies. So you can underline are raising armies, and so that they must also gather their resources and get ready for the war. So this entire part till the war you can underline as keywords. What does Antony suggest they should now do to overcome all dangers? So he says that they should consult how hidden dangers may be exposed and obvious dangers may be easily encountered. So you can start your answer, underlining your answer from consult how hidden dangers may be exposed till encountered. What does Octavius reply? Octavius replies that they are like the bear tied to the stake and they are fighting against their enemies. So you can underline that they are like the bears from here till the entire part you can underline, because that is entire thing is the answer. He adds that some outwardly smiling persons have ill will in their hearts. What is your opinion regarding Octavius in this scene? We feel that Octavius is brave, sincere and respectful to Antony. He has to follow Antony if he wants to take revenge for the murder of Caesar. So यहाँ पे you can underline Octavius is brave, sincere and respectful to Antony. This is you can underline as a keyword, and this entire till Caesar you can underline. Now this is the fifth passage. Octavius, let us do so, for we are at the stake and bayed about with many enemies, and some that smile have in their hearts I fear millions of mischiefs. So let's go for the first question. Explain the metaphor Octavius uses about stake and bayed about, a popular sport in Elizabethan times. So what is the metaphor? Octavius feels that they are like the bear tied to the stake and fighting against a ring of dogs. So you can write like the bear, from here till dogs you can underline. What does Octavius fear about the people's smile? He fears that those who outwardly claim that they are friends but actually are hidden enemies are more dangerous. They are smiling villains. So here fear about. So what you can write? Who outwardly claim that they are friends, from there till villains. This you can underline. What is your opinion regarding the wisdom displayed by Antony and Octavius, who appears to be wiser and more rational? Give reasons to substantiate your answer. Answer. Antony and Octavius are very wise in handling the situation. They anticipate wisely the plans of their enemies and act accordingly. No wonder they succeed in defeating the enemy. Whereas Antony is more practical and ruthless, Octavius is wiser and more rational. So as per the questions, you can underline the keywords, or you can underline the entire sentence as well. Fourth question. What is the sharp contrast between the noble Brutus and the triumvirs in their intentions to seize power? Answer. Brutus is noble and patriotic. He assumes leadership, though he is not fit for the role of a politician. He lacks foresight and is not a good judge of persons. But in sharp contrast, the new triumvirs Antony, Octavius and Lepidus are ambitious. Antony, leading the group, is practical, cold-blooded and ruthless. He is also hypocrite at times. Brutus was clear that only Caesar should be killed, but Antony is ready to kill even his own nephew. So here I think the entire paragraph is your answer. So you can underline some main points such as noble and patriotic, assumes leadership, though he is not fit for the role of a politician, then lacks foresight, not a good judge of persons, then the new triumvirs are ambitious, Antony is practical, cold-blooded, ruthless, hypocrite at times. Okay, so these all you can underline. The last answer from this passage: in what way does Antony appear to be ruthless and hypocritical? What sharp contrast is portrayed in Antony from what he was earlier in Act 3? So answer: Antony is ruthless as he does not mind putting his own nephew to death. He is hypocritical also. He wants to use Lepidus for his benefit and then discard him when he is of no use. Earlier in Act 3, he was pretending to be a lover of the masses, but now he is preparing a list of those who are to be put to death. He is ambitious, cold-blooded and hypocrite. That's all about Act 4, Scene 1. I'll soon come up with different other scenes. Till then, stay safe, stay secure. Thank you.